Hey guys, Berto here. This is the second video in the Not Too Late to Prep channel. Last week I told you that we were going to, or I hinted towards what we were going to talk about. So let's get right into it. Okay, what I'm doing is I'm backing up my computer. Now, when you hear or think of backing up your computer, you think of putting it on another hard drive. And that's okay if you want to take a chance on that hard drive being damaged. But what I'm doing is backing up my hard drive to printed copies. In case of an EMP, you're not going to be able to access the data on that hard drive unless it's been protected. And we're going to get to that in a little bit. But there's some things that you just can't protect. There's too many electronic devices out there that we use on a regular basis to protect each and every one. So what I'm doing here is I'm taking all of my documents, the important documents that I want to save, that I want to be able to get to at a moment's notice. I'm printing them off and I'm putting them in my file cabinet, my fireproof file cabinet. I'm also taking pictures of loved ones and pets, such as my beautiful wife and my good faithful friend Leo, and I'm putting them in there. And you might want to make as many prints as you can without breaking your bank right now, because if it comes down to have you seen this person putting things on telephone poles, you're going to want to have a lot of copies, and Kinko's ain't going to be working either. So you want to make as many copies as you can, put them up. If you can, get your animal electronically tagged, chipped, because after the power comes back on, they'll be able to find out who owns Leo. I can't hardly see that being a real problem, but anyway, another thing you're going to want to put in your safe is documents for the house, prescription medications, all of your pets' records. Put all that in your fire safe too, because that you're not going to be able to get. We've got to get into the mindset that whatever we're using electronically isn't going to be there anymore. And I was thinking about this just yesterday, and it was amazing. I mean, I looked around and I thought everything is electronic. Everything. The fridge, the vacuum cleaner, the TV, of course, everything that we use, the microwave, the computer. I keep aquariums as a hobby, and just everything is electronic, or electric, I should say. So there are a way to protect certain things, important things, critical items, but you can't protect it all. When the lights go out, we're not going to have this stuff anymore. So keep in mind, be diligent with your backups. This is, like I said last week, this is something that you could be doing right now. You don't have to spend a lot of money for it. You probably have a computer, you probably have a lot of stuff on it, you probably have a printer. Start backing up onto hard copy and sticking it in a file safe. If you don't have, or a fire safe. If you don't have a fire safe, get one. They're not that expensive for what they do. You'll really be glad you did. So another thing you might want to consider is information. Google has become a term of our generation. Now, if you want to know something, you Google it. Anything you want, it's right there at your fingertips. What if it's not? What if there is no more Google as we know it? Well, start putting together some information on first aid, emergency first aid. If you could get your hands on a used ship's medical book, get one. In fact, when there's no lights, there's not a whole lot to do but peer out the window watching for the looters, which could be fun if there's a lot of them, but if there's not too many, it's kind of like trick or treat. You end up eating all your candy and getting fat. So get some books. You know, go to the used bookstore, start spending your dollars and your change there. Get some used books that interest you, or magazines. I mean, they're teeming with them. You can get all that stuff. You get jigsaw puzzles, things to do without any power. After you're done with them, or even before you're done with them, if you want, you can also use those for bartering. So think about that. You know, think about everything that you do for entertainment, or for information, and think about the electricity that's involved with it. Think about the internet not being there. Think about your phone systems not being there. And make preparations, please. This is all, and these are all common sense things so far that I've shared with you that everybody should be doing anyway, because it doesn't have to take an EMP event to knock out your power grid. Look at the flooding. Look at tornadoes. I mean, you know, they're really kind of common sense things that we should be doing. So anyway, next video, hopefully get out pretty soon. We're going to be talking about, like I said, where to put these electronic devices, and that's going to be a Faraday cage. I'm going to build one, and hopefully it'll work. It's based off of plans that I found on the internet. So bear with me, come back, and don't go away. There's just a little bit more. Okay, what I've got here is some of the emergency electronic equipment that I believe will come in very handy after an EMP event. I've got the Midland base CB radio, weather radio. It picks up NOAA. It runs on crank power or rechargeable battery power. I've also picked up a Uniden scanner that will pick up on all the emergency channels in our area and others. The reason I got the scanner is because I truly believe that after an EMP event, the first ones to come online are going to be the emergency responders. So I want to know where the action is, and I believe this is going to help me find it or avoid it. Actually avoid it. Anyway, they're not in here. The components are not in here. They're in these little bags, these EMP bags. Now, I've tested one of these bags. I bought them online at Amazon. I tested one. I put my cell phone in it. I wrapped it up. I sealed it. I got on the other phone. I called. Didn't ring. So that's a good test right there. It's not picking up any signals. So that means it's not letting any of the energy pass through. And of course, I've put both of these in the bags as well. And I've got some other items that I don't have laid out here. I've got a set of handheld walkie-talkies for me and my wife. Because you got to remember, you know, the cell phones are going to be dead, the landlines are going to be dead. We don't know for how long. You know, it could be a matter of days. It could be a year or more. I mean, it could take a long time to restore the power grid. Now, each one of these bags comes with a bag of Desiccant. This is to remove the moisture from the bag. It'll soak into this and not your electronic equipment. Now, I definitely recommend storing these without the batteries in them for obvious reasons. You don't want them to sit and corrode. We don't know when it's going to happen or if it's going to happen, but store them without the batteries. Keep the batteries inside your storage, but don't keep them in the units themselves. Now, if you go to empcover.com, empcover.com, it's empcover.com. They have a EMP simulator, which is really neat to play around with. You can kind of get a feel for the coverage area of a man-made EMP event, such as, well, on their site, it's a nuclear bomb, and they give different size bombs, and you can move it around to your area and, you know, find out how widespread the effects would be, from a little baby nuclear bomb to a great big badass nuclear bomb. Of course, a little baby nuclear bomb goes a long way. Anyway, in the next show, I'm going to show you where to store all this stuff, because you don't want to get it damaged. In prepping, you want to kind of double your chances of survival, so redundancy is key as well. So we're going to build a Faraday cage on the next program, and until then, I just want to say thanks for watching. God bless you. Rate, comment, subscribe.